Okay, start? Ah, here we are in Santa Fe after a year-long move, and all I can say is yippee yahoo! But we're back here today to do another episode of how to wear a hat and not feel like a fool. And to do that, here in beautiful Santa Fe, I can't say enough about it, I wanted to start with talking about Santa Fe for a few minutes. Santa Fe is called the city different. There's a certain southwestern style that's associated with it, and it can be everything from super glamorous plaza boutique to Southwest Street style with a cowboy or cowgirl flair. But this is also called the city different, and people, what I've found, especially over the last few weeks, is that people really appreciate somebody with a unique style. When I step out in my vintage hats, which are also a statement about green, ecological matters, because I'm using vintage instead of something new, I get a lot of comments. People love the hats, they love the jewelry. It's like they can't even imagine where such a thing came from. So I want to encourage you to be okay with being unique, with being bold, and having a lot of fun with how you dress and how you wear a hat. Today we're going to start with this beautiful blue satin 1950s hat. It's decorated with little iridescent beaded dragonflies and a few dangles on it. It's a stiff construction, and which is usually done by stiffening milliner's net and then placing the outer fabric of the hat over it, and then putting a lining in and a hat band, and then sewing on, hand sewing on all the decorations. And this particular hat is from Melanie Mode's Fine Millinery, and it's really a stunning hat. It's one of the ones in my collection that I just adore. And to wear this hat, I like to wear it at an angle, because I have kind of a squarish or rectangular face. So for me, wearing it on an angle or a tilt and having something with a little bit higher crown works really well. This particular hat is also called, it could be called a tilt, but it could also be called a bumper because it has a very rounded edge to it that goes all the way around like a bumper of a car. And so anyway, this is the style that I like. But for somebody who's more of a 50s style girl and wants to wear a hat, like, and especially if you have shorter curly hair, it looks really nice if you can wear it just straight on, like they used to wear it in the 50s. On me, it's not so good that way, but that's what you have to play with. Every hat is different, and every facial style and actually shape of head too makes a difference in what kind of hats look good on you. So it's really great to try a lot, to, you know, walk into a store sometime, just try a lot of different shapes and see what fits your particular profile, your particular face shape, shape of your head best. And also, of course, your inner beauty and your inner nature. So that's one hat for today. And I'm wearing it just so you know, I go out all times of day in the winter in velvet. I love velvet. This is a sapphire blue velvet tunic, and I have on a nice, for Christmas, this nice wreath-shaped Eisenberg pin in amethyst and sapphire blue and crystals. And just to not give a nod to Santa Fe, I have some of these very unique bottle cap earrings that have the Madonna on them, since I'm a real lover of the divine feminine in whatever form she might take. And also I added, the other day, I added a vintage scarf that was my mother-in-law's, and of course you can wear that in all sorts of different ways, but I particularly like to wear it kind of knotted up, especially with something like this, and just kind of tuck it in to keep me warm. So there's several ways, anyway, that you can integrate your vintage items, even if you're a big goddess-sized girl like me who can't wear a lot of the little tiny clothes, that you can certainly decorate and yourself with these other beautiful vintage accessories. Now to try another hat that's in the same color family. Oops, that one just fell on the ground. Have this nice 1940s tilt that's made, let's see it over here in the light. It's made out of felt fur. You can see it's got kind of a plush surface to it. Again, a firm construction. In this case, the fur felt was strong enough that we didn't have to put it over anything, any milliner's net or anything. And it's not lined. It has a nice bow on the side with this nice blue rhinestone accent. And this one is a Bullock's Wilshire Collegian millinery hat that was, the body of it was made in Austria. It's called a musketeer. And again, I like to wear this at an angle, at a tilt. You can even tilt it forward more so if you can keep it on your head. That's another thing we should talk about actually, is how hats fit. To measure your head, generally you run a tape measure around right here. And if the shape of the hat is good, it should stay on your head pretty well. But if you have brisk winds like we do here in Santa Fe sometimes, you might want to take the old tactic, which they used to do in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, and 50s, and use a hat pin or a comb to hold it in place so that it doesn't blow off and go rolling down the street, which I've had that happen a few times here because it can be very windy. So that's another alternative with this outfit, and that's all we'll do for today. I have 3 or 4 more holiday outfits and hats that we'll show you over the next couple of weeks, and we'll move on from there. Hopefully we'll continue to do this every couple of weeks. Oh, just a little ad for my Etsy online stores, BeBeautifulVintage.com and LuminousLadyVintage.com. They will be reopening after a substantial vacation while we moved January 1st with a week-long sale store-wide. So come get your hats, jewelry, purses, or beautiful vintage clothing. Happy holidays. Here we are in Santa Fe, New Mexico. All I can say is yay. And we're back to talk about how to wear a hat and not feel like a fool. And to start with, I just pulled the thing off. I can't get this open now. Okay.